Hi everyone, Hoya callistophylla. So what's the dilemma surrounding growing this? This has been a very hard Hoya for me too. And on my previous video, my friends have commented on this, saying that two of them had a harder time with this, which they finally gave up. So Hoya callistophylla, this is a very common Hoya, but it did not do well for me either. If you believe it, this has been with just 2 leaves, okay, in the same pot, being repotted over 4 to 5 or to 6 times by me, because I wanted to give it a fresh start and I want this to go on, and I was trying different medias, and I've been having this for over 4 years with just 1 leaf. So how did I get this going? It was a total mishap, not actually a mishap, by a mistake that I potted it into coco peat. I'll just show you. It's now in coco peat and it's getting watered morning and evening. Okay, no aeration holes, because coco peat is a powdery substance which will seep out of the aeration holes. Only the bottom drainage is there, and I have put some leca at the bottom to just keep this steady without falling. This pot happened to be with me, just laying around with a new supply of coco peat, expanded out of a block. And at my last house move, I witnessed that the movers have upended the plant again. So I had a lot of coffee cups, all these small plants have come out of, so I had to repot many of them like this. And callistophylla was one of them, because I had to sort out the smaller grade of charcoal and lava rock if I'm putting them into an inorganic mix. But I did not have the time, so quickly, because some of the leaves were already good, I put it to this, and this suddenly threw out 3 big leaves to this day, which are elongating, and those are this 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so we can see that they are not hardened up like this. Okay, so finally what I understood was what it needed was a stable ground to sit in, nothing inorganic, because I've actually tried cocoa husk pieces also, cocoa chips, that didn't do well in that either. I do not know why an even denser media like coco peat worked on this callistophylla. If you believe, this came in the same order as this crincolate. I think I know this, I don't remember, however, water, and this, and even Hoya decay, right? So, but you can see that they took on and grew from me receiving them as one node cuttings, but these didn't. And when I repotted this, what I did was I put this at that very corner of that rack. Okay, I'll show you more that did not take off. This, and I'm restarting this because of a root rot, and this crimson princess or queen. Yeah, this is the princess, yes. And so like that, some will take off for you and some will not. Some will be really finicky and they will not move a muscle, right? Even the leaves that they would throw out would be really malnourished or very, they'll have a stunted growth. Now this, after a while, I saw signs that it's taking off from the bottom leaves, but it was very slow. So similarly, each one of us will have suddenly slowing down Hoyas, or Hoyas that have been always slow like this, right? Because of so many reasons. It can be the cutting that you're receiving, it can be the media that it's not liking, it can be the disturbance that happens to them because of you trying to give them a better home by uppotting or repotting, or the normal mechanical damages. Out of nowhere they can just start having stunted growth. Especially what we normally always address are the issues in the roots, or issues with regards to pests or your care, like watering or fertilizing, such as this. But due to no cause by us, they can go into a state of shock also. The tips that you have to follow when it comes to a hard Hoya is, the first would be not to mess with it, right? Not to let it get toppled over, or just being repotted the whole time, or being subjected to experiments, not getting regular fertilizing, the growth conditions that it needs. The best point to follow is, when you repot, you have to put this into a shade. Now for filming purposes, I took this out onto this because I didn't want this to topple over, because I'm taking it and keeping it back on the shelf. I normally keep this at that corner, right? So there should be a shaded spot with very filtered little sunlight in the morning, for it to not go through a lot of transplant shock when you are rooting it or when you have repotted it, right? So instead of the roots getting a hold on to the new media, if it has to battle with the sun and being malnourished, it's an added stress for the plant. That's where transplant shock will severely hit the plant. Now here, overwatering and the media not drying off would be a problem too. So even though I'm watering my plants because of my carnos are blooming these days, I usually forget to. So every 2 to 3 days I'll forget watering. So this will definitely get a chance for not only this, for everything that are in cocoa peat will have a chance of totally drying off. So you should find a balance like that, right? The top part will be totally dry and the bottom will have some sort of moisture, which makes me come to the third point. So this always had moisture in it, no matter what. So that also did the trick, right? It was always moist but not waterlogged, right? And I just let it be. I gave it fertilizer. There again, fertilizer could be nicely held within this cocoa peat powdery media without being washed over very easily. Even when watered, not being watered all the way through when I'm in a hurry by using a hose or some other way, if I am, if I have potted them in inorganic media. So I'll sum up all the things that you can do. You can find a potting media which is either cocoa peat or which has some potting mix or soil mixed into it, which would hold in the roots and the plant without it being shaken. Okay, that's the main point when it comes to Hoya callistophylla. Then it should be in the shade. That's the second point. The third would be the fertilizer should be applied and it should be held until the roots can absorb it. Fourth point would be it should not be totally dry. Okay, with cocoa peat that's hardly the case because there will always be water or moisture within the cocoa peat, right? If I water thoroughly, I can actually go on for 5 days without watering cocoa peat in a pot like this. Okay, these are the coffee cups are 600 milliliters. This has to be 1 liter. Okay, so nothing happened with the roots. If the roots became or went into a root rot, this wouldn't have happened. Okay, so my fifth point or the sixth point would be whatever the new leaves that you will see, make sure you will give it extra precaution that those leaves will not drop off, right? That's how I saved this callistophylla, because I left it in that corner and when it was throwing off new leaves, even I didn't go to touch it, right? So, and the oils on your fingertips are, not that good. I've told you this many times before. I've ruined totally budding up pinnacles also because of excitement and touching the unopened buds, so stuff like that. So here those are the things you have to worry when it comes to a difficult Hoya, right? If the main point that I'm giving you is, it will be the sixth or seventh point. If the first leaves that you got, the rooted cutting, are not dropping off, leave it be. Okay, that is a very good sign that your plant is okay. At the same time, if you are growing in inorganic media, you will see roots too, right? From here and there you will see roots growing, but your plant is not growing. Still, leave it be, right? It's just getting its bearings. So once that happens, it will definitely pull through. Okay, it will definitely pull through, and not when you want it to, but it will, because a plant, any kind of plant, will only try to live. Okay, so you might not receive the results that you want when you want it, but good things are on the way. So leave room for the good things to happen by staying solid. Okay, it's kind of a life lesson, I don't know. Okay, so apply the same life lessons to your plants also. I hope you guys are doing well and happy. Bye bye.